Absence. 1. A little absence does much good. 2. Absence doth but hold off a friend to make one see him the more truly. 3. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. 4. Absence cools moderate passions but inflames violent ones. 5. Absence of occupation is not rest, a mind quite vacant is a mind distressed. 6. Absence is love's foe, far from the eyes, far from the heart. 7. Absence sharpens love, presence strengthens. 8. Absent or dead still let a friend be dear. A sigh the absent claim, the dead a tear. 9. Absent none without blame, present none without excuse. 10. Conspicuous by its absence. 11. Far from the eyes, far from the heart. 12. He that is absent will not be the heir. 13. Long absence changes friends. 14. Long absent soon forgotten. 15. The absent are always in the wrong. 16. The absent one will not be the heir. 17. Whoso absents himself his share absents itself. Absent-minded. 1. He looks for his ass and sits upon his back. 2. The butcher looked for his knife while he had it in his mouth. 3. You look for the horse you ride on. Abstinence. 1. Abstinence is the best medicine. 2. Abstinence is the mother of competence. Stilson. Absurd. 1. He calls for a shoeing horn to help on his gloves. 2. He catches the wind with a net. 3. He chastises the dead. 4. He cleaves the clouds. 5. He draws water with a sieve. 6. He gives grass to the lion, meat to the horse. 7. He gives straw to his dog, and bones to his ass. 8. He hides the sun with a sieve. 9. He is building a bridge over the sea. 10. He is making clothes for fishes. 11. He is making ropes of sand. 12. He numbers the waves. 13. He plows the air. 14. He pounds water in a mortar. 15. He seeks water in the sea. 16. He seeks wool on an ass. 17. He sees a glowworm and thinks it a conflagration. 18. He takes a spear to kill a fly. 19. He takes oil to extinguish the fire. 20. He tries to support an egg upon his nose. 21. To commit as many absurdities as a clown in eating an egg. 22. To dig a well to put out a house on fire. 23. To dig a well with a needle. 24. To drink from a colander. 25. To swim a river with a bridge close by. 26. To the dog's straw and to the ass bones. 27. To throw oil on the fire. 28. To throw pearls before swine. 29. To twist a rope of sand. 30. You ask an elm tree for pears. 31. You dance in a net and think nobody sees you. 32. You go to a goat to buy wool. 33. You look for hot water under the ice. 34. You use a lantern at noonday. Abundance. 1. Abundance begets indifference. 2. Abundance is trouble but competency brings delight. 3. Abundance like want ruins many. 4. Abundance maketh poor. Abuse. 1. A man who is not spoken of is not abused. 2. Are you not accustomed to look at home when you abuse others? 3. He who abuses others must not be particular about the answers he gets. Accepting. 1. Who accepts from another sells his freedom. 2. Who accepts nothing has nothing to return. 3. Who accepts sells himself. Accident. 1. Accident is a word not to be found in the divine vocabulary. 2. Accident is commonly the parent of disorder. 3. No accidents are so unlucky but that the prudent may draw some advantage from them. 4. Accidents do not threaten like rain. 5. Nothing with God is accidental. 6. The greatest events often arise from accidents. Accomplice. 1. He sins as much who holds the bag as he who puts into it. 2. He that hides it is no better than he that steals. 3. He that holds is no better than he that scourges. 4. He who holds the ladder is as bad as the thief. 5. The accomplice is as bad as the thief. Accusation. 1. Even doubtful accusations leave a stain behind them. Accuser. 1. Woe be to him whose advocate becomes his accuser. Accusing. 1. Accusing is proving when malice and force sit as judges. 2. Accusing the times is only accusing yourselves. 3. He who accuses too many accuses himself. 4. It is honorable to be accused by those who deserve to be accused. Achieving. 1. Who faints not achieves. Acquaintances. 1. The more acquaintances, the more danger. Acquiring. 1. That which we acquire with most difficulty we retain the longest. Action. 1. Act honestly and act boldly. 2. Action is eloquence in the eyes of the ignorant, more learned than the ear. 3. Action is the proper fruit of knowledge. 4. Action must be founded on knowledge. 5. Actions measured by time seldom prove bitter by repentance. 6. Act so in the valley that you need not fear those who stand on the hill. 7. Brave actions never want a trumpet. 8. Good actions carry their warrant with them. 9. Great and good are the actions Hans. Done by many whose worth is never known. 10. For the sake of one good action 100 evil ones should be forgotten. 11. Men boast of their great actions, but they are oftener the effect of chance than design. Men's actions are not to be judged of at first sight. 12. Only the actions of the great smell sweet and blossom in the dust. 13. That action is best which procures the greatest happiness for the greatest numbers. 14. 'Tis not the action but the intention that is good or bad. 15. 'Tis not your posterity, but your actions, that will perpetuate your memory. 16. We should consult 3 things in all our actions: justice, honesty, and utility. Action, united. 1. By the hands of many a great work is made light. 2. By uniting we stand, by dividing we fall. 3. 3 helping one another bear the burthen of 6. 4. 3 if they unite against a town will ruin it. 5. Weak things united become strong. Advancing. 1. He who does not advance recedes. 2. Not to advance is to recede. Advantage. 1. A finger's length in a sword and a palm in a lance are a great advantage. 2. Advantage is a better soldier than rashness. 3. Every advantage has its disadvantage. Adversity. 1. Adversity borrows its sharpest stings from our impatience. 2. Adversity flattereth no man. 3. Adversity has no friends. 4. Adversity is easier borne than prosperity forgot. 5. Adversity is not without comfort and hopes. 6. Adversity is the parent of virtue. 7. Adversity is the true scale to weigh friends in. 8. Adversity makes men, prosperity monsters. 9. Adversity makes wise though not rich. 10. Adversity may suspend our fondness for life, but a single glance from prosperity recalls it. 11. Adversity often leads to prosperity. 12. Adversity reminds men of religion. 13. Adversity, sage useful guest, severe instructor but the best. 14. Adversity successfully overcome is the highest glory. 15. Adversity's sweet milk philosophy. 16. Adversity tries virtue. 17. Adversity willingly undergone is the highest glory. 18. Adversity will not last forever. 19. He that was never acquainted with adversity has seen the world but one side and is ignorant of half the scenes of nature. 20. He who does not tire tires adversity. 21. He who swells in prosperity will shrink in adversity. 22. In prosperity caution, in adversity patience. 23. It is more difficult for a man to behave well in prosperity than adversity. 24. Many can bear adversity but few contempt. 25. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like the toad ugly and venomous. Wears yet a precious jewel in his head. 26. There is no education like adversity. Advice, advisers, advising. 1. Advice after mischief is like medicine after death. 2. Advice given in the midst of a crowd is loathsome. 3. Advice is not a popular thing to give. 4. Advice is not compulsion. 5. Advice like water takes the form of the vessel it is poured into. 6. Advice should precede the act. 7. Advice to a fool goes in at one ear and out at the other. 8. Advice to all, security for none. 9. Advice whispered is not worth a pea. 10. Advise no one to go to the wars or to marry. 11. Advise not what is most pleasant, but what is most useful. 12. Advisors are not givers. 13. Advisors are not the payers. 14. Advising is easier than helping. 15. Advising is often better than fighting. 16. A good advice is as good as an eye in the hand. 17. Ask advice of your equals, help of your superiors. 18. Good advice can be given, a good name cannot be given. 19. He asks advice in vain who will not follow it. 20. He who follows his own advice must take the consequences. 21. He who will not take advice gets knowledge when trouble overtakes him. 22. He who will not take advice will have to buy dear repentance. 23. He who won't be advised can't be helped. 24. If you wish good advice, consult an old man. 25. It is better to seek advice at the beginning than the end. 26. It is easy to give advice when all goes well. 27. Less advice and more hands. 28. Let the meritorious and defective mutually advise. 29. Man gives nothing so willingly as advice. 30. Many persons take advice as they do physic, to fling aside the moment the doctor's back is turned. 31. Never advise a man to go to the wars nor to marry. 32. Never give advice unasked. 33. No advice like a father's. 34. Nothing is given so freely as advice. 35. One piece of good advice is better than a bag full. 36. Out of evils advice is easy. 37. Take advice of a red-bearded man and be gone. 38. The advice of many persons is requisite in great affairs. 39. The worst men often give the best advice. 40. There is nothing we receive so reluctantly as advice. 41. Though old and wise, be still advised. 42. To prescribe physic for the dead and advice to the old is the same thing. 43. We are casting our words in a leaky cask, throwing away our advice. 44. We may give advice but we cannot give conduct. 45. We receive nothing with such reluctance as advice. 46. We should never be too proud to take advice even from the lowly. 47. Whatever advice you give, be short. 48. When a thing is done, advice comes too late. 49. When advice will not correct, the rod will not. 50. When error is committed, good advice comes too late. 51. When the rabbit has escaped comes advice. 52. When they tell you you are drunk, hold by the wall and go on. Take advice. 53. When things go well, it is easy to advise. 54. Worthless is the advice of fools. 55. Write down the advice of him that loves you, though you like it not at present. Affairs. 1. Affairs are lost when one stands looking at another. 2. Affairs like saltfish ought to be a good while a soaking. 3. Affairs sleep soundly when fortune is present. 4. Affairs that are done by degrees are soon ended. 5. Make your affairs known in the marketplace, and one will call them black and another white. 6. One cannot manage too many affairs. Literal. Like pumpkins in the water, one pops up while you pop down the other. Affectation. 1. Affectation is a greater enemy to the face than smallpox. 2. Affected superiority mars good fellowship. Affection. 1. Affection is the broadest basis of a good life. 2. Our domestic affections are the most salutary basis of all good government. 3. Instinctive, unlike rational affection, has no favorite. Affliction. 1. Affliction is the wholesome soil of virtue. 2. Affliction like the iron smith shapes as it smites. 3. Afflictions are the best blessings in disguise. 4. Afflictions are the good man's shining time. 5. Afflictions are the good man's treasure. 6. Affliction's sons are brothers in distress. A brother to relieve, how exquisite the bliss. 7. Are afflictions aught but mercies in disguise? 8. Nothing would be more unhappy than a man that had not known affliction. 9. One affliction is better than 1,000 exhortations. 10. The afflicted person is sacred. 11. The angels of affliction spread their toils alike for the virtuous and the wicked, for the mighty and the mean. 12. The best remedy of affliction is submitting to providence. 13. There is mercy in affliction smart. It heals those wounds of sin which mock all human art. Africa. 1. Africa always brings something new. Age. 1. Age is a sorry traveling companion. 2. Age is venerable in man and would be in woman if ever she became old. 3. Age makes many a man white but not better. 4. Few persons know how to be old. 5. Good morrow, spectacles, farewell, lasses. 6. Grey beard and red lips seldom remain good friends. 7. He that would be long an old man must begin early to be one. 8. He that would be old long must begin betimes. 9. He wrongs not an old man who steals his supper from him. 10. In telling the age of another, multiply by 2, in telling your own, divide by 2. 11. It has been a great misfortune to many a one that he lived too long. 12. It is difficult to grow old gracefully. 13. It is the common failing of old men to attribute all wisdom to themselves. 14. Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter let old wrinkles come. 15. Most old men are like old trees, past bearing themselves, will suffer no young plants to flourish beneath them. 16. No man is so old but thinks he may live another day. 17. No old age agreeable but that of a wise man. 18. Old age brings companions with it. 19. Old age comes uncalled. 20. Old age is a troublesome guest. 21. Old age is honorable. 22. Old age has deformities enough of its own, do not add the deformity of vice. 23. Old age itself is a disease. 24. Old age, though despised, is coveted by all. 25. Old men are twice children. 26. Old men do not readily form friendships because they are not easily susceptible of pleasure. 27. Old men who have loved young company have been of long life. 28. Old people see best in the distance. 29. Poverty and age suit very ill together. 30. Save for the man on the white horse, for old age. 31. Secure the three things, virtue, wealth and happiness, they will serve as a staff in old age. 32. The old have every day something new. 33. The old man who dances furnishes the devil fine sport. 34. The old man who is loved is winter with flowers. 35. The old man's counsel is half deed. 36. The old man's staff is the rapper at death's door. 37. The oldest man that ever lived died at last. 38. 'Tis late ere an old man comes to know he is old. 39. What the old man does is always right. Hans. 40. When an old man cannot drink, prepare his grave. 41. When an old man dances, he raises a great dust. 42. When an old man plays tenpins, the balls make a great clatter. 43. When men grow old, they become more foolish and more wise. 44. When old men are not upright, they teach their sons and grandsons to be rogues. 45. Who honors not age is unworthy of it. Youth, age. 1. A worm is in the bud of youth and at the root of age. 2. A young man negligent, an old man necessitous. 3. Action from youth, advice from middle age, prayers from the aged. 4. Age but tastes, youth devours. 5. Better eat grey bread in your youth than in your age. 6. Better poor, young and wise, than rich, old and a fool. 7. Better under the beard of the old than the whip of the young. 8. Consult with the old and fence with the young.